Greetings, peasants of the Peasant Kingdom. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Sengoku Dynasty, Episode 2, Helping the Locals. I am next closest to the impure, so let's go talk to him next. And I'm updating the priority of help the locals. Toshishi said you might need help with old Hikobe. Well, you're too late. He's drawing his last breaths in Taro's cabin. He's beyond help. So shouldn't you be helping him? No use. No use now. I just have to wait, and when he's ready, I'll drag him out into the sunlight. I've come here for Seiji to perform this sacred duty. The gods don't like it when a man dies at his home, so I'm sitting here listening to the sea with one ear and his groans with the other. What's his story? He refused to leave when his house burned down, and running out of food. He was kept getting brought rice. He didn't want to be a burden, so he went into the forest, gathered some mushrooms, and it turns out he ate the wrong mushrooms. So what was he thinking? Trying unknown mushrooms? Unknown? Not really. I think he did it to himself on purpose. How do you know? He opened his eyes for a moment, and I swear he was relieved to see me. He knew it meant he was dying. Why would he do that? One less mouth to feed for the family? Food is scarce around here. Like I told you, he never wanted to be a burden. So is there really nothing we could do? No, but Mama would probably say otherwise. She's the local herbalist. I don't really trust her. She likes to play with herbs and mushrooms a bit too much. You never know what will happen when you drink one of her concoctions, but some say they can be helpful. I'll give her that. I'll talk to her. It never hurts to try. Oh, sometimes it really does. So, let's talk to the local herbalist about the man waiting to die. Also, I haven't leveled. Oh, no, I leveled up in Monk. I am going to level up in Craftsman faster. Man is dying. I want to help him. What exactly happened to him? He ate some mushrooms. Oh, you mean old Hikobe, right? There are medicines that might help him, but it could be difficult. You can't make them? Of course I can, but you have to decide which one to choose. How can I choose between medicines? I'm not a healer. One gives a tiny chance of survival, but old Hikobe will definitely suffer a lot. There's no guarantee it will be successful. The other will only take his pain away. He will suffer less. He will die. The choice is yours. Oh boy, I wish I could pull you guys, but I'm going to say he will surely welcome the chance to fight for his life despite the pain. Then bring me some charcoal. This shouldn't be too difficult. There is plenty of burnt wood around. So I need 3 charcoal. I have 1 so far. And this is the old Sasoji village that got burned to the ground. There's also burned out trees around here. These are pretty good sources of charcoal too. Of course, not the one I just hacked at, but generally yes. And back to Dynasty, I am going to level up my lumberjack even more. Oh, well, not with that axe. At this rate, I'm going to have the entire village cleared of ruins before I get my third charcoal. Normally, it's not this difficult to get. But RNG being, well, you know, random. There we go. I got the third. I have the charcoal. I see. I need a moment. Give this antidote to the sick man. This could keep death at bay, but he will definitely suffer. Hello, bunny. I'm going to get you. Or not. You're safe for now. You wily rabbit. Drink this. What is this? Am I gone? Calm down. You'll live. What? How could you? We all die. Oh no, this hurts again. Yep. Igube looks more alive, right? Well, isn't that a surprise? I didn't know the old man had it in him. What's next for him? He'll probably live, but I didn't expect him to be. Don't expect him to be grateful. I'll cart him to his family in Aratani when he gets better. You took the risk and saved his life. People here won't forget that. And I just unlocked some recipes for fishing nets, a sand path, standard house. Standard house is a nice one. Leveled up in leader again, so I'm going to get the better loot from boxes, and then leveled up in monk. And I'm going to level up the craftsman apprentice even more. So I level up craftsman skills even better. All right, there's one last person to help, which is the jizamurai, or whatever that is. The self-proclaimed protector of the people. He's a bit further out, so it'll take me a minute to get there. Oh, polling's back. Great. What do you want me to do after I help this next person? I'll give you 5 minutes to vote. My suggestion, build up the village, because I have 2 villagers, and they are unemployed at the moment, and they are not being fed. Which decreases happiness. You know, starvation kind of sucks. But you're welcome to vote for something else if you wish. Is this another refugee? It is. All right, I'm going to mark him down for later. Or he'll be there later. Here's a road marker. This looks like a very heavy finger on the scale. Yeah. I'm not exactly going to be punished for not putting them to work and feeding them, but like, it's kind of the logical next thing to do, considering it's essentially an alert of going, hey, these 2 people aren't employed and not being fed. And even I myself am homeless. Alright, here's the warrior. Totoshi told me you might need some help. I don't need help from anyone. And right now I'm busy with the damn kid. What kid? There's no one here. Damn wimp, more like it. Kukumatsu. Told him to go practice hunting. He sure is taking his sweet time. Is he? Probably hiding in the hills behind the hunting hut and whimpering. How long has he been away? Long enough. And I see he's not the only one wasting my time. Goodbye. Ask Kukumatsu about his task. And yes, the warrior is, well, he's a bit of a knob, let's say. Kengyo told me he gave a task. He told me to hunt and bring him 3 pieces of cooked meat to make me tougher, he said. It's really hard. You're distraught. I know I should be brave, but my father, when he was still alive, told me it's wrong to kill animals. It's stupid, I know. Look, kid, perhaps I could do it for you. You would? Thank you, I guess. Apparently, Kengyo does it all with his bare hand, because he didn't bother to give me a knife. Where can I find something to hunt? There's plenty of hare forms around here. They're small and quick, but they don't have much meat on them. You may want to look for deer, but please don't tell me what you've decided. I don't want to know. So get meat from hunting and skinning animals. So let's go find something to kill. Put my yari on. In fact, I want another yari too. Oh, I don't have a log. That's okay, I only need 1. Although this bad boy is about to break. So on the map, you can see these little icons. This little fox, this deer. So there's like deer here, for instance. And when you travel around, you'll find like natural areas that they congregate. So you can find yourself game pretty easily that way. Just be careful, because wolves and bears don't mess around in this game. Especially bears. Oh, and there's tin here. Neat. Cheers. Well, one place I know to have a lot of things to hunt would be around my home. So how about we go towards my home that it was honestly infested with boars. I'm going to cut down some additional trees so I have more yari to fight with, because it really sucks to break weapons in the middle of a fight, because you basically just have to run away from the fight. But what does happen is if you break a weapon and you have a spare in the middle of a fight, you will automatically equip the spare. With that said, you can also use your tools as weapons. They just don't make for very good weapons. Alright, I am going to take Hard Worker to gain extra stamina. Oh, there's a hare right there. And you guys want me to build a village? Got it. Ha! Alright, we have 1 of the meat so far. I just saw something move. Oh, yep. There's definitely a hare this way. Yep. I'm gonna get you, then Kengyo is gonna eat you. There is a crouch. So if you hit if you hit C rather, you can sneak, which allows you to approach animals all stealth-like, making them slightly easier to hunt. Plus, it's daybreak now, so I'll be able to actually see what the hell I'm hunting, which is surprisingly a bit of a benefit when you're trying to hunt something small. I hear deer this way? Grunting? That will yield a lot more meat. That looks like a wolf. Challenge accepted. Oh, and a fox. Oops. I threw my last one. Oh, and that fox had the same idea. Oh, you're not hunting me right now? Alright, where's the other one I threw? He's back to messing with the fox. Whatever. Pokey, pokey, pokey. There we go. Oh, we even got fangs and claws. Cool. Give cooked meat to Kikomatsu. So for cooked meat, I'm going to need another campfire. So I'm going to collect... I have plenty of stone. So let's get over to Kikomatsu and cook him up some meat. I saved the fox. Yes, for now. If I get hungry enough, maybe not. Also, I leveled up in Way of the Warrior. I'm going to do Sprint Attacker. Unlock Sprint Attack for primary attack. That one's kind of nice. It gives you like a sprint thrust for an opening attack move. Like this. If I can get close enough. Cha! There we go. You can see why Sprint Attack is nice. Because this poor little hare could not contend with my Sprint Attack. And I didn't have this before, so before hares could like run away from me, but now they cannot. Good eating tonight. Hi, Kikomatsu. So let me just cook this up for you real quick. And this is the first time I'm cooking meat, so I should gain Dynasty experience. There it is. A paltry 10, but you know, it's something still. And while I'm here, I'm actually going to cook up all the meat, because I'll probably just sell the remainder of the meat for coin. Even though my villagers are starving. But, you know, I'll teach them to feed themselves or something. We'll see. Here, I have cooked the meat. I'll take it to him right away. Have you eaten today? Don't worry about me. Since my mom and dad died, I got used to it. I can go for 2 days without food, you know. Sign of discipline. He says, what? He's using you. Eat the meat. You need your strength. Perhaps you're right. I've been feeling not that well. And obviously I just made an enemy out of the warrior, but, you know, whatever. Poor kid needs to feed himself. Oh, and we're surrounded by hares everywhere. This dude's just lazy. Hey, you, lazy dude. He completed the hunt. How do you know? Where's the meat? I told him to eat it. Do you realize how hungry he was? That's his problem, not mine. His parents are dead, and the kid has to learn to survive on his own. He's just a child. You were responsible for him. Oh, the ragtag refugee is trying to teach me how to treat my pupils. Thank you for the lesson. I can do without it. I know what's going on here. You act high and mighty with me because you hope others will be impressed by how caring and merciful you are. Well, good luck with that. Some will buy that sort of crap, but I know better. Scram before I get angry. And stop sniffing around. If I ever see you setting up here, setting up outposts like mine, things will get ugly. So I just unlocked a hair box trap and an archery target. And now I can go back to Tatashi and tell him I'm done. Helping his neighbors. Realized I myself was hungry. Luckily, I have all this meat in my inventory. So if you're wondering, there is spoil timers. As you can see, fresh time 46, fresh time 24. You know, food will spoil over time, so use it or lose it. The sneak animation is ridiculous. This? I mean, I don't think it's really any different than almost every other game I've played that has sneak animations. Especially not an open world survival craft game. Kind of on par with everything else, I think. All of the excess stuff I have, I am selling to you. Claws. Bangs. Fat. And now you're out of coin. Enjoy all my junk. Bye. I've been helping the neighbors. I know, people are talking about you all over the place. I helped Chiyomi. Did you hear from her? Told me how you honored the goddess in the shrine. I just cooked an egg, not much of a sacrifice. It was more than most would do. Some were ashamed of their by their neglect of Inari when they heard about you. I think the shrine will have more visitors now. I had an encounter with the warrior. He'll have a grudge against me, but everyone else thinks I was brave to stand up for the boy. He was hungry and scared. I had to help him. Some say you weren't fair to the boy, but as I say, the old fool deserved it. Pardon my words. And what about the impure? Yes, the business with old Hikobe. Matasumaru is quite a gossip. He told everyone what you did. Still don't know if I did the right thing. The old man is suffering but alive. His family will be grateful. They will speak for you, as will Matsumaru. It was a difficult decision, yet you had the courage to make it. This is a real mark of a leader. Do you think I can count on the support of the locals now? I think they will support you. I even know someone who would be happy to join your village. My sister, Sayuri. She's excited about your plans. Talk to her. I hope this will be a new beginning for all of us. So, I'm not going to ask her to join the village right now because I literally don't even have space for her. So the current priority right now is going to be to build up the village, as that was what you voted on. So, let's go to the road marker over here, which is a fast travel point, and fast travel back over to the village so that I can do some villagey stuff. Oh, there's literally a refugee here waiting to join. Okay, so the first thing I want to build here is going to be a storage building for general storage. General storage is basically a dynasty-wide storage building that allows you to put in everything in it, and eventually you get specific storages, which are going to be more useful, but general storage has to come first. So this is just like the loot cache, if you will. And I kind of don't, I don't want to ruin the view of the mountainside, so I'll put it somewhere over here. I'll probably end up moving it a few times, but this is where I'll initially put it down. X. And this one's about to break. And yes, metal tools obviously would be vastly superior, and we'll be working on that in short order, I imagine. So, for the production facilities to work, you need to be able to put the things you produce into storages. So without storages, there is no really feeding people or taking care of people because they won't have a place to get tools for their work. They won't have a place to put the food that they're done harvesting. So it might be a little counterintuitive, but storage has to be kind of your first investment. I'm actually going to change this one to another entryway so that the main stockpile storage can be entered from both sides. Five sticks, 14 grass. Got it. And a lot of the general resource collection can be automated, or rather, well, I guess automated is fine. Once the villagers go to work. So things get easier with time as you earn more money, you can buy more of the resources you don't care to farm yourself, and then your villagers will be producing as well. And villagers can definitely take care of their own needs and then have plenty of left over to be able to allow for construction, expansion, etc. Global projects, so on and so forth. Can the storages have different walls? Yes. Most buildings can have a bunch of variety of things. It requires coin to unlock, so I wouldn't be able to do that now because I'm too poor. But as you can see, the walls can be made of conifer or deciduous planks or premium conifer. The roof can be made of thatch, wood, or makeshift. So there's a bunch of different options. I just can't afford them at the moment. Just like the original house that I built. So, the general storage is done. And that unlocked a workshop and a forger's hut. And anything placed in general storage is then made available. So I could hold E and store everything I own in general storage. That would be just fine. And as you can see now, there is 34 meals available, or 34 food units rather available, but they're still consuming 64. So they have access to the food I just put in storage, but it's not enough to actually feed them yet. The next thing I want to build is probably food storage. So I'm going to spend the coin to unlock that and build food storage. And I intend to start planting fields. So I got to do a little bit of planting. I'm going to put food storage here. And anything placed in that storage is still, because I'm within the boundary of the town, available for me to build with. So, for instance, if I had my villagers cutting trees down for me, the logs that they put into wood storage would then be available for me to use for building. I wouldn't need to go collect logs myself. And if you're wondering how big villages can be, see that, like, blue wall out there? That is the sphere of influence limit of a village. So it can be pretty expansive. Pretty large. So some of the buildings, like this food store, doesn't have options. They're all the same. There aren't materials involved. Some of the smaller buildings are like that. Small buildings and shrines are like that. So there's not variety in all buildings, but some, yes. With that said, you can still decorate a lot of those buildings anyway by hanging art or torches or stuff like that to them. All right. So now we have food storage, where this is where all the food will be placed. And then the next thing I want to do is to build a workshop, because a workshop will unlock farming. So a workshop is in the build screen, it is a building of a production building. And you have a forager hut, which allows them to forage for food, which is also the way to make medicines, which is very important. A workshop and a woodcutter's hut. I'm actually going to build the forager's hut first, before I do farming, because we can start foraging for food. So I'm going to put the forager's hut a little bit more towards the outskirts of town, just as a design decision. Now, if you're wondering, they don't physically travel to work. So if you put a lumberjack they will produce wood regardless of how close they are physically to to trees. So some of it is a bit simulated, but it also means that you can lay out your villages aesthetically rather than, you know, functionally, so that they're a lot prettier, because the villagers will walk around your town and like interact with things and appear to be working and sweeping and cleaning and moving things, but there isn't like a concept of commute to work or distance to hauling or anything like that. So employing the first 2 villagers that we have in this forager's hut will allow them to forage for like wild mushrooms and berries so that they can satisfy their food requirements better. And because there's a food storage facility adjacent to them, it feels like it's put it right there. I like to build or lay out, attempt to lay out my my village thematically, or like kind of how a village would be laid out, with like food stores around foragers and farms, rather than food stores next to like mines, for instance. So yes, a woodcutter would physically not fell trees, but the player does. Trees will grow back unless you intend for them not to. So if I had a shovel and I looked at one of these pine bushes, I could dig it up so it wouldn't regrow. So eventually you're given the option to change the terrain. Even then, right now what I could do is go to like dirt path. And actually, making a dirt path, once I'm fairly convinced the layout of things, wouldn't even be necessarily a bad thing to do, because it would look more lived in. You know, if this is obviously doesn't look like a desire path. You know, it's pretty square, but you can start to pave your villages so they look more trafficked and lived in as a result. And I'll be doing that as we build up. Can a path be destroyed? Yes. The same way we built it. 3 hammer swings on anything destroys anything. Buildings as well. Individual pieces of furniture, whatever you want. Have I leveled up craftsman? I have. Let's go ahead and get hard worker. Or more stamina. Now, the foragers can forage more than just berries and mushrooms. They can forage for sticks, they can forage for stones, they can forage for ores, you know, really anything that would be found on the ground. One of the useful things is like feathers if you want to make arrows. So once it's unlocked, you'll see and I assign the work to the villagers that I have, you'll see the list of things. It's also worth mentioning that a lot of the production facilities will also include a bed inside of them. Not all of them. So, for instance, a woodcutter doesn't have a bed in it by default, but like a miner does. So if I built a mining hut, it comes with a bed. And therefore, if I want to employ a new miner, I don't necessarily have to build a home for them, as they can sleep in their own work. It allows you to, you know, futuristic work from home, right? But, you know, in the past instead. Cheers. All right, I need 6 more grass and 2 more logs. Yeah, 3 more logs because I just broke my hammer. Personally, it looks janky as hell, but I really like the way the trees fall so you can like catch them. The way I imagine when I first approached this game, given how much more capable your own character is than everyone else, is like this is a retelling of like a folklore hero rather than like a historical depiction of like living in feudal Japan. You are like the folklore hero of the Peasant Kingdom ruler or something. You're like a Thor amongst men, if you will. And that helps square, you can either complain about it or find it endearing, and like personally I find it a bit endearing. So this is a wood storage access, and the way to explain this a little bit is certain facilities like this forager may require access to wood. So if you have now that I have the food storage facility, any individual building with a food store is now linked to that. And this will make a lot more sense once I actually build the internal food store. So maybe it's worth explaining a little bit more in detail once I have that built. But this allows you to basically gain connection to the storage facility. So this is the food. This is the general storage access. And this will make sense. So if I open this up, this is what is in my general storage right now. So if I wanted to gain access to the general storage, I could run over to my general storage building over there and interact with the crates. But this has a dedicated building as well. This individual spot would not work if my general storage wasn't built. So the general storage facility needs to be built, and then all of the satellite storage facilities will then link to it. Maybe that's the best way of explaining that those are like satellite storages. And for the default blueprint of the forager, as you can see, it comes with a bed. So someone new will be able to sleep there. So it looks like I need 1 more log, 5 more stones, and a bunch of grass. I think I found stones. I think I'm staring at stones over here. Animal location discovered, black bears. Yep. Hopefully we settle close enough to that black bears that they won't spawn, but, time will tell. Figure while I'm here, I'll just grab a bunch of stones so I don't have to come running down here too much more. Most animals in this game will give you a very early auditory warning when you're getting too close, so you don't just get ganked out of nowhere. Sometimes they don't, but if you're hearing like growling or roaring, yeah, you better look around because you're about to get jumped. The icon in the top left, what does that mean? So I mentioned this before, but basically it's informing me that someone is not currently employed in our village because I don't have somewhere for everyone to work yet. So it's just a warning that there's 2 unemployed in the village, and that's fine. There's nothing better for them to be doing, so they get to do nothing at the moment. But we're about to build the first workplace, so that's about to change. So in building this herbalist station, I now have unlocked Healing Brew, which is the easiest way to heal yourself. And then there's all these other medicines, and all these other medicines are things that you can craft to be able to supply healthcare to your villagers. And there we go. I now have the Forger's workplace done. I'm going to move this Forger's actual workplace over a bit. It's also worth noting that in this case, this Forger hut can employ more than 1 Forger. So if I wanted to do that, I could go to Furniture. I could go to Production Buildings Furniture. I could go to the Forger's hut and go to the herbalist station. Or do that same thing and go to the the forger's workplace. So I can build other forgers' workplaces if I want this place to employ multiple forgers, which in this case I do. I have 2 unemployed people. So a lot of the work facilities will come by default with just 1 workplace, but that doesn't mean that you can't add more. There is a limit. I think the forger's hut has a limit of 4, if I'm not mistaken. But it's worth noting that you don't need to make, for like miners or lumberjacks or hunter, like for most of the workplaces, you can at least have 2. So now that we have 2 places for them to work and 1 extra bed, I forget whether or not we can add a second bed in this. I don't think we can. No, we can't. Okay, that's fine. Let's go assign the 2 unemployed to work. So I go to population. I go to Akko. I am going to actually move her into the forger's hut. So she sleeps in the forger's hut. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have her stay in the small house. And move Sashi, the other one, into the forger's hut. And then, let's assign them jobs. So Akko, you are going to be assigned to work as a forger. It is currently spring, so I want you collecting shiitake mushrooms, and you will collect 50 shiitake mushrooms a day for 200 food a day. Now, as you can see down here, I have a positive food per day. We are producing enough food for everyone to subsist on. Sashi, same deal. I'm going to assign you to the forger as well, but in this case, I could have you collect stones, because I don't particularly like collecting stones, or I could have you collect sticks, or I could have you collect bark, or whatever I want. But in this case, I'm going to do stones, because I'm going to need a lot of stones for building and everything, and I just don't like collecting them off the ground, so she gets to do it. Thank you for tuning in to Sengoku Dynasty, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 15th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Dynasty warriors.